Hey guys, if you've done any kind of reading or work in the areas of personal development or professional development, you will have heard of the concept of self-awareness. And I don't think there's any doubt that self-awareness is the foundation of personal growth. It's kind of like Socrates said many, many years ago, know thyself is one of the key features of wisdom and insight into life. That's where it has to begin. And so we really want to talk about how do I grow in my self-awareness. I'll have people ask me that question oftentimes when I talk about the importance of self-awareness. They'll ask me, well, how do you do that? Like, what am I looking for? And I want to give you an acronym that I think is pretty helpful, and it's the acronym AWARE. And these are 5 things that we all fall into patterns. We all fall into these habits, and you want to be able to stop and reflect on yourself as you begin to kind of experience these 5 things. So let me show you these real quick. Number 1 is you need to be aware of your attitude. You need to be able to stop and really consider, is your attitude in that moment positive? Is it enthusiastic? Or is it an attitude that you feel like is cynical, maybe negative, it's down? It matters because, as we know from research, that emotions are like a contagion and they spread. And a lot of times people are just unaware of their emotions because their emotions are their attitude is such a part of who they are that you don't ever really think about, what is my attitude right now? I mean, ask yourself that question for a second. How often do we ask ourselves, what is my attitude right now? And do I need to change it or shift it? So number 1, think about your attitude throughout the day and ask yourself, where am I? What is my attitude if I had to describe it? Next is your words. Your words have great power. They have great force. A lot of times we don't even realize sometimes how we use our words. And we want to really be aware of that because your words have a real force for good, or they have a force that can really hurt people, or maybe your sarcasm or your cynicism or your negativity, and the words that you use can really affect other people around you, not to mention that they affect you as well. So think about the kind of words that you use. Do you use positive words? Do you use encouraging words? Do you use words that reinforce the idea that you can do it, that you believe in yourself? Or is your self-talk, even the words that you say to yourself, are they negative and self-critical? So be aware of the words that you use, how you speak out loud to people, and obviously how you speak to yourself. Next are the actions. These are probably the easiest things to be aware of because they're actual physical actions that you're doing. Be aware of the kind of things that you do. When maybe you feel frustrated, do you actually go talk to somebody and share your grievances about somebody else? You know, are you kind of, in a sense, gossiping about somebody else, or do you go directly to the individual that you have an issue with? When you look at your actions, look at how do you spend your time. Is it constructive? Is it productive? Is there a lot of downtime? Is there a lot of waste? Be aware of your actions. Be aware of the way that you engage people, because sometimes we'll realize that our actions are kind of getting in the way of the outcomes that we ultimately want. Fourthly, not just our actions, but our reactions. This is really important. Whenever we have a reaction, we don't really think it's a reaction that we have, and those reactions oftentimes reveal something about us. Is our reaction one of patience, one of calm, one of deliberation, or is our reaction oftentimes emotional? Is it sudden? Is it loud? Is it attacking? Everybody has different ways they react to different things. And you want to be aware of what is the pattern, what is the habit of the way you react to different things throughout the day. And finally, your emotions. This is what emotional intelligence is all about. It's the ability to identify, to be aware of and identify what emotion are you feeling. And I'm not talking about an attitude, I'm talking about an emotion. Things like when you feel angry, and you can actually identify that and say, man, I'm feeling angry right now. Or maybe you're feeling, unhappy, you're feeling sad about something. Maybe you're feeling some fear about something. It's important to be able to identify those. And I know a lot of people sometimes think that's a bunch of kind of psycho babble, but it's not. The ability to be aware and to identify what emotions you're feeling are going to help you to be able to manage them more effectively and not just kind of get lost in the emotions of the moment. People who can't identify and be aware of their emotions are usually kind of enslaved or shackled to those emotions, and their emotions rule them. So learning to identify and be aware of those things. And that's it. If you can actually take these 5 areas and really strive to be more aware of these things with respect to your life, I think you're going to find yourself growing greater and greater in self-awareness, which means you're going to have a greater ability to manage yourself, and you're going to be far more effective with the people around you.